Hi, Chantel. I wanted to leave you some feedback on your rough draft. I really like the ideas that you're working with in this paper, particularly that you are, talking about issues of gender and sexism, um, and how you see those playing out um, in your personal life, but also in the broader culture. I think that that is a good theme to work with for a personal narrative. So if this is something that you want to continue working on for this paper, I think it's a good idea. Um, so in figuring out what that narrative arc is, right? We were talking about this in class today, or sorry, in the class earlier this week. Um, I'm not entirely sure at this point what the arc is, but I think I see potential for one, particularly the this little anecdote right here, um, where you worked in a position that is typically considered masculine, and you experienced sexism on the job. I think that this would be a really good idea to work out and have the focus for your narrative, right? So your reaction when this colleague of yours laughed at you could be, your moment of change potentially, or at least, really pull us up that arc that we want, right, in a narrative. So I think that this is probably the idea to maybe have the action focus on. However, these other ideas of how you got the message, um, these messages of gender, um, I think that these should be explored in more depth as well, right? Like some of these ideas could kind of set the stage for really the story that you want to tell. Um, I I really like this little anecdote that you make about how TV shows and social media all kind of teach us how to perform gender. Um, I kind of want to encourage you to stretch that out a little bit. So, can you give us some examples of long running TV shows that you, or maybe even social media posts that you feel are a little bit too rigid in terms of how we should perform gender? Um, and you seem to say that, this idea was also reinforced in your home. So if you're comfortable, kind of using descriptive detail there and really explaining, like maybe giving some stories here and there of how that idea was reinforced in your home, that might make for interesting details to bring into to uh, kind of hint at what you will talk about in the workplace. But I also think it's worthwhile with you reflecting on, how you pushed that back against that. Because I feel like a good portion of your narrative is you pushing back some of these these rigid ideas about gender that really don't allow you, or really any humans, to really experience the full range of humanity in ways that we should, right? So, unfortunately, gender and gendered identity does a lot of dictating for us on what we can and can't do. Um, and that could have the potential to get in our way. But it also, I think there's a lot of strength in conversations like this, in that when people tell us that we can't do things, perhaps that motivates us even more to prove that well, we actually can. So I think that you have a lot to work with here. Um, I think it's the idea of figuring out exactly what you want your arc to be, and kind of stretching out and going a little deeper, a little bit more descriptive, as we talked about this week, with some of those good details here and there. I think that will those will lend themselves to making this be a really powerful narrative. All right, Chantel, I look forward to seeing what you do with this. Okay, thanks.